So, today we're here to recap the round 2 of the World Cup, essentially the day 2 where everything kinda resolved with all the groups coming to an end and our quarterfinals being set. Let us start off, of course, from the beginning, and then we'll get to the best games at the end because that's exactly how the day actually went. Because uh, we had some really good games at the end of the day and mostly blowouts the rest of the day. So that's pretty much that. Let's start off in Japan with Australia against Georgia. Both teams were already eliminated, and yeah, it was exactly that. Hey, Australia lost to Luka and Slovenia in the bronze medal rematch, and Georgia lost to whoever it was, to Germany. And yeah, both were eliminated prior to this game, so didn't have much weight on it. Very happy to watch Josh Giddey. He was really good today. 15 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, plus minus of 26. He had a good tournament, really good tournament. Excited to see him with the OKC Thunder. And yeah, 78% shooting also. Some other standouts were Dante Exum. He was really good today. Duop Reeve was really solid with 16 points. Shout out to him. And Perry Mills at 19. They won by 16, 100 to 84. From Georgia, you might know Goga Bidace. He had 20 points today. Famously, that photo with Zion pre-draft. And shout out to Georgi Shermadini, Tadeusz McFadden, Alexander Mamukelashvili, and Rati Andronikalashvili. Still a really good tournament from Georgia, all things considered. Next up, we head to the Philippines. Italy against Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, they upset Dominicans on Friday in their match, which of course was incredible, and they were looking to make history with a quarterfinal appearance. Italy upset the Serbians on Friday, so of course, with a win, they would also be headed into the quarterfinals. And it was a tight game at the start of the day, in the first half, and then in the fourth quarter, the Italians just ran away with it. They allowed Puerto Rico to score just 21 points. They couldn't buy a basket. And some impressive performances. Nicolo Melli with 7 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists. Simone Fontecchio, the Utah Jazz superstar, didn't shoot well, but still had also 12 rebounds, 12 points. And Stefano Tonut had 15 points, shout out to him. Luigi Datome off the bench with 11. And the bench guys did really well overall. Alessandro Pajola with 7 rebounds and 9 assists with a really good off the bench performance overall. And for the Puerto Ricans, the star of their tournament was Tremont Waters. He was really great in the other matches. Tonight, he just didn't have it overall. 5 of 14 from the field, 13 points, 9 assists, still 7 turnovers also. A great tournament from him. He really impressed. Just didn't have it tonight, unfortunately. And nobody else really did. 37% from the field. Italians shot 41. As you can see, also the free throw shooting was horrendous in this game. So, yeah. Rough night for the Puerto Ricans, but still a tournament to be proud of, man. And yeah, Italy moves on, and they will be headed into the quarterfinals. Next up, we will head, of course, once again in the Philippines for Greece against Montenegro, who both teams were already eliminated prior to this game. Also, I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure, like I'm not making a recap about it. Yeah, they were. The Greece squad was really not impressive without Giannis. Papagiannis had a good games, some bad games, and otherwise, I don't know. It was just a bad tournament from them without Giannis. Didn't have much direction to me really. Played some solid basketball here and there, and that was it pretty much. Well, the Montenegro squad has a lot of things to be proud of. Really good tournament from Nikola Vucevic. Marko Simonovic had a good tournament to me today. He didn't shoot the ball much, but overall I really liked his play. And of course, Vucevic, 19 points today, 7 rebounds. He had a really good tournament. Mihailovic with 10, Dino Radonjic with 12. Shout out to these guys. They were really impressive, and they took the Americans down to the wire as they lost to them just barely by 13 points, which is, of course, not barely, but Still, it was just by 13 points, and it was really tight halfway through the fourth quarter where the Americans finally turned up. Still, a lot to be proud of for the Montenegro squad. Here, back in Jakarta, Indonesia arena, Brazil against Latvia. This was one of our, of course, matchups that was about an elimination. Whoever wins is eliminated. Whoever loses is eliminated. Whoever wins moves on into the quarterfinals. And Brazil, they played a really good match against Canada on Friday, who they upset, which I didn't see coming, and they played great. And Latvia has had a really great tournament, eliminating the French, of course losing to Canada only, and they were great, man. They were just really great. I'm been really impressed. They beat Spain even on Friday, and they once again showed it today, where Brazil had a solid start, were always trailing a little bit, and once Bruno Caboclo got his fourth foul in the third quarter, everything went sideways as the Latvians really poured it on in the third quarter with a great third quarter run. They went 36 points to 21 points in that third quarter, and they didn't look back from that, eliminated Brazil fairly easily. Bertans with 14 points, he had Davis Bertans, that is, you might know him, 14 points, big threes. My favorite player from Latvians, Artur Žagar, had a really good game, and he also was really good in the third quarter, 17 points from him. Kuruš with 12, Andrejs Gražuliš with 24 off the bench in 30 minutes. He had a great night. He had it going. So great stuff from Latvians, man. They shot 16 of 33 from the three-point line. They got some snipers in there. They got some really smart players. They play a really good team ball. And I'm excited to watch them in the quarterfinals, man. They've been a really good story this tournament. Nonetheless, we move on. And before that, we have to give shoutouts to Marcelo Huertas. He has been great. You might know him from Shakhtar Fool.
Trying to get into the offense, not awareness. Huertas would rather pass than shoot, but he's going to have to fire, block, and then he just throws it over his head. He knew the clock was expiring. That's going to be a turnover for the Lakers.
What a defensive play by Johnson, though.
Of course, it's still funny, but shout out to him, man. Great career, still playing in here at 40 years old. And I'm not sure, of course, what's next for him. He probably wants to still play. He had a rough tournament overall, but it was great to see him, actually, because I know him just from the Shakhtar Fool fails, but he has had a really good career besides the NBA and still has some really good experience in the NBA. Shout out to him. Then I thought this would be a great matchup. Slovenia against Germany in Japan for the first place in their group K, which I'm pretty sure it is. And it started off a little unexpectedly with Slovenia going out on top 25-11, Luka dominating early on, putting Isaac Bonga into the post and absolutely dominating him, shooting really well. What's his name actually? I should have had this prepared. Prepelic was shooting really well, and Toby had a solid, start to the game, but then he kind of went off. But Prepelic has been shooting overall really great, and he had it going early on. So they jumped off to a great lead, 25-11, but then everything went sideways. 27-9 second quarter for the German squad, which has been really impressive. Leading them is Dennis Schroeder. Dennis the man is, he had a really interesting moment on the bench.
Hey, let's go! Fuck, sit down! Let's go! Sit down! No, you don't tell me no. Sit down! I got timeout! Let's go! Don't sit! I know, I'm just telling you to sit down! Come here!
And yeah, as you could see, and he had 24 and 10 today, 8 of 11. He's been goddamn awesome, man. FIBA Dennis Schroeder might be a top 10 point guard in the NBA. He has been hooping out there. So great stuff from him. Lots to figure out for Slovenia. They will still be going into the quarterfinals. We already know their opponents. If you don't know, I'll be telling it at the end of the video. So for those who don't know and want to see it, I already have the timestamp there. You can go and watch whoever it is, or you can just search it yourself, of course. And yeah, these matchups will be great. Both teams going on to the quarterfinals. A little worried about Slovenia as their overall play just relies way too much, of course, on Luka, which makes sense. and their 3-point shooting was really off today, so they need to get that, of course, to be much better. They need to shoot better, and they need to rebound better, in my opinion, to be really successful. And Luka, of course, needs to go haywire, which we know he is possible for sure, right? But it was just not today. Just not today. Otherwise, next up we head to the Philippines back again. Dominican Republic, my favorite surprise of the tournament. They went 3-0 in their groups, lost to Puerto Rico, as I said, now going up against Serbia for a spot in the quarterfinals. Both teams have to win for a spot in the quarterfinals. Serbia had a really uncharacteristic performance against Italy. On Friday, Bogdan Bogdanovic was set down in the fourth quarter. It was a really rough watch, especially that last possession. And they dominated. They absolutely demolished the Dominicans. They didn't stand a chance. Started off great, and unfortunately, they just could never get back into it. It was like a 15 to 20 point lead very early on in the first quarter, and they just never bounced back. Jean Montero with 15, Rigoberto Mendoza with 14. Shout out to Lester Quinones. He had a bad tournament, but still, he at least got some experience here. Scat, Karl Anthony Towns had a really good tournament. Shout out to him. 25 points today. Didn't shoot the ball as well, had some rough turnovers today, but nonetheless, still a really impressive tournament from Karl Anthony Towns. And hey, I'm really rooting for him in this NBA season, hoping he does well, and we'll see what happens there. Jovic had his worst game of the tournament. It didn't matter. 0 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 fouls. Still, at least, contributed somewhat fairly well. Bogdan Bogdanovic had 20 points, 5 assists, 7 of 7 from the field. He wouldn't have a bad game after that bad performance on Friday against Italy. Jovic, the Stefan Jovic had a good performance. Marko Guduric had a good performance. And Serbia moves on onto the quarterfinals, where the Dominicans are unfortunately eliminated. And it's sad, man. I was really hoping they would make it into the quarterfinals, but it is what it is. Now, finally, on to the games of the night. First off, America against Lithuania, the European country where basketball is the most popular sport, I'm pretty sure. No Domantas Sabonis. They have been playing incredible basketball this tournament, and they started off great. Bullied the Americans from the get-go. Were so aggressive defensively. The Americans just couldn't adjust to that fairly quickly, while also just not being connected defensively, which Lithuania punished so well. They were moving the ball really well. They were attacking the post with their size and strength advantage, and they jumped out to a 21-point lead, started 9 of 9 from the 3-point line, had a sizable lead at the half. Then the Americans finally showed some heart. They had a great start into the second half, kind of a statement, if you might say, but it just didn't cut the lead enough. It was about 6 points. The lead got down to as about low as 6 points, but the Lithuanians always kept it around 10 to 12 after that. And of course, the defense was not connected enough. Jaren Jackson once again fouled out. He was really good when he played, but unfortunately, he just doesn't stay on the floor. And Lithuanians had the great spacing. They once again found their range in the fourth quarter from the 3-point line. And rough performances from Brandon Ingram. Jalen Brunson was an impressive. Austin Reeves had his worst game of the tournament, and also got bullied absolutely in the post by the Lithuanians. He's 6'5", and it still didn't matter. They also weren't connected defensively. There were so many blown assignments. It felt like they just aren't synced up as you would like them to be. But of course, they had a spot in the quarterfinals secured, and despite trying their everything in the last 2 minutes, where those last 2 minutes lasted like 30 minutes, man. So many free throws, so many timeouts, so many shots. But the Americans were still Mikal Bridges' corner 3-pointer from a 1-point game and like 5 minutes on the clock. He missed. Lithuania stays undefeated and heads out from this group as the number 1 seed, as the undefeated team, which is incredible. They were great. Literally everyone played really well. And as you could see, the box score here, Anthony Edwards had 35 points, almost had the record for the Americans at the World Cup. But still, I don't love how he plays here, man. He just plays too much hero ball, just 1 rebound, 2 assists. Jaren Jackson at center, just 1 rebound, man. The rebounding was horrific. They got absolutely bullied rebounding-wise, 43 to 27 for Lithuania. Jonas Valanciunas with 12. He wasn't even good that much. Without him, it was much better because they could have the spacing out there with 4 guys spacing out the floor for a post player who, of course, they could not double team off of those great shooters. They shot 14 of 25 from the 3-point line, which equals to 56%, as you can see. And had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players in double digits scoring wise. Incredible performance from them. Excited to watch them play Serbia. I'm pretty sure it is Serbia, and I spoiled it, but both these teams' results were already out here. USA will play Italy, so incredible quarterfinals. I would say kind of great for both teams. I like Lithuania against Serbia, and USA, of course, against Italy. I feel like is kind of a blessing for the US squad, as I think that's probably the best opponent they could have asked for, even though they beat Serbia. I just feel like matchup-wise, that's perfect for the Americans. Nonetheless, last game of the night, and certainly the game of the night, Canada. Oh, Canada. Can you see? Goddamn. Why can I properly pronounce Canadians and I don't know, whatever. I'm not gonna force myself to do it. Whenever I try to do it, I can't. The Canadians against the Spaniards, against Spain. They had a lot on the line. With a win, they would not only secure a spot in the quarterfinals, but also at the Olympics. Spain, of course, had the same on the line. And I'm pretty sure both could qualify for the Olympics still. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Spain still can, but should have checked that out earlier. We'll see. I probably will add it into the video on some text form. Nonetheless, great match. Spain started off really well, and I felt like they were pretty much the better team throughout the first 3 quarters. Had a 12-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. After Canadians came out strong in the third quarter, where, of course, they were down 10 at the half, and they tied it at 52-52 halfway through the third quarter. But then Santi Aldama exploded in the third quarter. He was hooping out there. He had an incredible dunk, like truly incredible. And they were up 12. Nonetheless, Canadians didn't lose their heads, and they played really well in the fourth quarter. And Dylan Brooks had probably the best performance I've seen from him in the last 2 years. He was incredible. He made a big shot after big shot, made the game-tying three-pointer, had some great stops down the line. Really good from him. Just an incredible performance from Dylan Brooks. Huge shoutouts to him, even though I don't usually like to do it, of course, when it's him, but credit where it's due, he was incredible. 22 points on 8 of 12 shooting, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Incredible stuff from him, man. Incredible stuff. And gilgeous-alexander, 30 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 17 straight assisted or score points in the last 2 minutes. He had the go-ahead bucket from the mid-range step back. Beautiful shot from him. 82-80 to put them up 2. And then they got the stop and did their job from the free throw line and played just incredible basketball down the stretch. Archie Barrett got fouled out, and even though he had a better night, he didn't have it going in the fourth quarter, and I feel like it was a little bit of a blessing in disguise that those corner threes were really rough, and they just don't have enough outside shooting, to just say the least, right? Lou Dort is not a great shooter. Nickeil Alexander-Walker has been impressive, but of course, not a shooter. You have Dwight Powell and Kelly Olynyk. Probably your best shooter is Kelly Olynyk, and Shea, of course, is out there. Dylan Brooks, 3 of 3. Will probably not happen again. If it will, we'll see. He said they want to win gold, and they put themselves into the position. Despite all of that, Spain was still really close to tying the game with a 3-pointer that just rimmed out. Had an unlucky bounce. If it bounced a little different, who knows? But that's, of course, what-ifs, and we don't play what-ifs anywhere. And I'm really happy to see the Canadians go through. And as you could see in the brackets right now, we have the quarterfinals set. Italy against USA on Tuesday. It will be at 10:40 in my time, which is great. The other matchup on Tuesday is Lithuania against Serbia, which, well, then that will be at 10:45, and this will be at, what is it? 14:40 in my time zone in the Czech Republic. And on Wednesday, we have Germany, Latvia, and Canada. The Canadians, Canada. Oh, Canada. Against Slovenia, which Luka against SGA. I think that's going to be a great matchup. Probably also a really good matchup for the Slovenian squad. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited about every single one of these matchups. Germany against Latvia. I think that's a little unlucky for Latvia because Germany has been playing that great, but they can beat them. USA, I feel like, against Italy should be fairly easy, but at least that is the storyline that Paolo Banchero will be playing against Italy, which of course was a controversy because he, well, was supposed to play for the Italians, if I know, and then he pulled out and played for the Americans. Lithuania against Serbia should be a good matchup. Serbians, of course, kinda up and down, but Lithuania is a beatable opponent for them, I think. I'm rooting for Lithuania overall, but I think it will be a tight matchup. And Luka against SGA, I mean, what more do you want, really? So, I'll be doing a prediction tomorrow, probably, for the rest of the tournament, and I'll see you all there. Let me know what you think. I tried my best, that's all that matters, and hope you watch these matchups. I know for Americans and for that time zone it is not at the ideal times, but I feel like Italy, America, it should be at least fine, and the Canadians against Slovenia also should be at pretty much the morning times. So, hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you watched the games. If you didn't, you can check out the highlights in the FIBA official YouTube channel. They pretty much put out highlights and some really good videos for those tournaments, and I hope I informed you well about the FIBA World Cup. I'll catch you all tomorrow.
Saga City, stand up, baby!
City, baby. Saga, stand up, baby.